Okay, I'm back with another video of this. I have been recording these like really close together, and I will not be uploading them consistently. I have like one uploaded and the rest recorded but not uploaded. So we're gonna play Aranea's thing here. You leave Matuna's hive after sunset. In one final game of transportalization, Oval 2, Heart, once again a unique kind of light and heavy. Heart, once again a unique kind of light and heavy. Oh, okay. Sometimes the text is a little confusing to my small brain. That's two friends on your roster now, provided you've been winning. These games are a little more linear. I swear I heard someone just call my name. Are a little more linear than our source material, so if you would be so kind, please be winning. You ponder the advice you gave Matuna, and it is true. All you can do is keep moving forward, getting through it the way you always have. For all that's changed, for all your current uncertainty, it is still friendship that keeps your stalwart blood pusher pushing. Okay? Normal people in your position might have questions. How did I get here? Why is anyone killing me? Where'd that other moon go? But you're totally happy with your current ignorance on the friend prowl. No need to occupy yourself with itchy, unpleasant questions about your existence, simply vibing. Every building around here is distinctive in shape. Here, a hive stem that gives the Leaning Tower of Pisa a run for its money. Here, one so low to the ground you would have to duck, but the rest of the subgroup is characterized by an almost haunting sameness. You're starting to worry you'll get lost. As you're pondering the pros and cons of Cuddle Plume's urban planning, and definitely no other questions, you stumble upon the front steps of a library. This library is the coolest library I've ever seen. Look at the little jellyfish lamps. That's so cool. You pause. Your spidey sense is tingling. Friend sense? Oh no, that's just called empathy. Maybe the power of noticing a person with your regular senses. Point is, there's a girl seated halfway up the steps looking dejected. The capitalization was really random there. Now, technically, you could move on. You get the feeling that this planet must have tons of places to go with her problems, and they're probably leaps and bounds more well equipped to help than you. You've got a to-do list. Besides, aren't you still looking for Aranea? That is Aranea. But all cold logic aside, your heart couldn't take it. You gently climb the steps to her. God, she's so cute. Oh, bow tie is adorable. Now that you're getting closer, you know she's working. You watch as she taps the tip of her pencil against the page, willing good thoughts to come out, but just as you're beginning to figure out her deal, her head snaps up to regard you. Gah. If I said that in a way that sounded dumb. I said, ignore that, ignore my bad reading. No, wait, this is okay. She's not glaring at you with any of the same animosity she sent boring into that notebook. She's rather welcoming, actually. Almost alarmingly so. She's wearing a smile that, in fact, makes you feel simultaneously enormously at ease and very, very sorry for taking up that emotional bandwidth. It's okay. No, yeah, of course it is. You don't have a right to her business anyway. If she says it's okay, then you're sure it's okay. No, that was actually just fine and a nice look on someone looking for friends. I like reading her is like having like, you know, a normal voice, like no real accent or like anything special to her voice. I feel like that's the way I like to read her. I don't know. I just meant that my smile was okay. It isn't there to ignore myself. As you can see, I'm having a difficult night. There's something storming brewing for you too. I kind of want to add like a bit of emphasis whenever she uses the letter B. I don't know. I'm planning out how I'm going to voice a bunch of characters while playing this game. This is a little dumb. Remembering your general prior experiences with blue buds, you take a step back. Yeah, no, that's valid. They tend to be, yeah, whatever Vriska and Equius are. Here on Befriendus, I'm just gonna pronounce it like that so it sounds like less stupid, okay? And more like an actual name. It's harder to hear a threat in anything anyone says to you than to find a half pipe tall enough to get in the ear. But still, it's better safe than dead. You're uneasy. I think I should explain. I meant that there's something stormy brewing in your brain. I don't take any liberties intentionally, but I have a gift of powerful psychic empathy, and there are some components of it that can't be turned off. Emotion reading with you, for example, is a little like standing next to a particularly strong smell. Gee, thanks, you say. You're welcome, it wasn't an insult. Most of my cast aren't as powerful as I, that's why I put an intentional check on my abilities. To quote our resident game girl, Latula, if the slurry can't nerf all of us, homemade is fine. What? For example, I've never used them to take control without permission. Without permission. I won't use them on you. Please don't worry. Really, it's sort of a chore. Some people want to study what the experience is like. Even then, I have personal guidelines. I'll pilot you through admitting a crush if you really need it, but I won't LPG on a test. Wow. Okay. I'm Aranea Circuit. Sir Kate, for the pun inclined. No side quest achievement pops up in the corner of your eye, but checking that off your mental to-do list was so satisfying. You're Mina's friend, aren't you? Acquaintance, anyway. It was just one night, ours. But I'm sure you two are very happy. Captor was raving about you in the group chat. Not that I should gossip or read a word of it. Did Captor say anything about being his friend? If you were wondering why I looked so dejected earlier, that would be because of my presentation for the bi-sweeply conference of the Rising Befriendus Historical Culture Society. Oh, okay. This feels, for some reason, like the start of an unskippable monologue. Oh, no. No, seriously, she's getting really into it. You swallow the irrational need for validation about your most recent friendship and start using your save slots. Yeah. Yeah. We're a selection of Befriendus's best and brightest. Each of us tasked with weaving together and presenting an entirely new and necessary factate Fat face. Oh, face. Oh, yeah. I think I might be dumb. I don't know. I think it's face. I want to see of Befriendus history and its current impacts. And we have a full season. Once we've submitted our topic for approval to pull together resources, create an argument, and add our stitch to the vast historical web. By add, I mean suggest, of course. One night, we may untangle the full true story of Befriendus and its upbringing. Its depths fully plumed, no moment left behind. Oh, so the history of this place is like a little unknown. Huh. They didn't record their own history. Smart thinking, guys. Freaking Dandy's World smart thinking sticker, guys. Just the smartest of thinking, not to record your own civilization's history. But in the meantime, our work is untangling it and passing it on to the next generation. For me, one after mine. In one season, you could be seeing a fully fledged Historia Great. I don't want to try pronouncing that. Apprentice standing in front of you. What? I'm confused. I'm so confused. That's why the conference matters so much. She starts to look a little dejected again, like she's been so busy explaining for you your benefit that she'd forgotten. She had all season to prepare, and she swoops in like this at the last minute. Who? Impezi. Okay. Annie old Impezi has scored consistently at the second top of almost every multiple choice exam. But her research topic barely scraped by. You can't just memorize your way through a thesis proposal. But even with her shoddy craftsmanship and poor work ethic, Impezi has always managed to pull off high ranks. And just because she doesn't color code her folders or ask to speak with mentors after, why did I say mediums? With mentors after the presentation is over. I mean, this is only between you and me, but school feeders cold charge who? Rumors fly and attractive ones stick. And so, even with other empaths in the room, and even with my fastidious documentation, we know what side the narrative will somehow take. Never let it be said that Befriendus doesn't have a penchant for favoritism. So I can't show up with the same project. And Impezi has gracelessly stumbled into orchestrating the murder of my academic career while making it look like a suicide. Now you get the problem. Gah! Aranea recoils and you very quickly try to school your facial expression for her sake. You bet she gets that a lot. My old thesis was that events currently categorized under the 11th century okay, may fall as late as a couple sweeps after. For reasons shrouded in mystery to most scholars, very few documents about the disappearance of the SS Armageddon have survived. Oh, like a ship disappeared, okay. And Impezi got her grab mitts on all the same facts I collected. I'm sure it's not just research know-how she's lacking. But that's fine. I'll come back in a few sweeps and whip up throw line out of whatever passionless proposal and Pezzi's left in her wake before rising into her celebrated career of rote, flavorless data collection flavorless data collection, and wondering why wigglers think history is boring. That's if I establish myself academically first. She will. She clearly has the skills to. Thank you. It's just... Aranea thwaps a hand uncharitably at the paper in her lap. Every single option I put into a paper dulls this second I jot it down. I know it's a challenge every writer faces. I promise I'm not being hard on myself about my own creativity. There's just nothing fresh. The situation that needs a catalyst, a spark, a real outsider's touch. She's looking at you. Oh, great. We were forced to do history homework now. I've narrowed us down to two binary possibilities. On the one hand, we're in the heart of Cuddleplume's historic downtown. There's a trove of mysteries to be mined right here, just from overturning a single brick. Besides, I would love to show you around. On the other hand, we're in the heart of Cuddleplume's historic downtown. Museums of all kinds abound, and I think I said it right, I'm not sure. And some would say there's something a little foolish in spurning knowledge when it's already been gathered in our archive. I'm so sorry if with, the circuits, I get confused as to what they're trying to say, because the amount of things they use the number 8 to represent, it gets confusing real fast. It's really hard to read. We can play it safe and interpret our subject area thinly, or I can take you somewhere more real than the tourist experience. So, what do you think? Fateful crossroads, branching paths, multiple choices. Should we start at the museum or around town? You pass the baton back to Aranea. It's her project, right? You want to help, but this feels like a little bit like enabling plagiarism. Because beyond our jumping off point, I would do all the research and really did already get you down to two options. Two itsy bitsy changes to start off our trajectory through the entire body of Befriendus historical canon, and further narrowed when we realized neither path includes the vast history of colonization and civilization of the stars. It's really only that in your choice-based narrative, I ought to give you a choice. Well, what the hey, you can't really argue with that. She's really insistent and academically honest and just bubbling over with anxiety. So, which one will it be? Here, we're gonna save because I'm gonna need to come back to these options. I keep almost clicking quit game. I don't want it because it took forever to get this running. I don't have to do as much, but I still have to remember what freaking code I need to run to get the game to boot up again. That's annoying. Also, I'm just not sure what will happen if I close it, and I don't really wanna. I can picture nothing more exciting than this life in the Museum of Entomology. Let's hit the town. History is everywhere. I want to click this one. Alright. Aranea bobs on the balls of her feet and gestures with an open arm down the wide path in front of you. Welcome to Cuddleplume. Cuddleplume offers a quintessential cross-section of West Befriend history and will be the center of our investigative study. And I think you're just the fresh perspective we need. What is Befriendus? As it falls on alien gander I don't know. It's very smooth, you say. Aranea seems delighted by your novel options. It is. This book hive is the product of architectural competition in the 318th century of the reign of her impassioned conservation architect to build cull for the health and betterment of the population. Cultural pertain to culture as the set of expected behaviors, norms, and traditions. I understand what those words mean. Its grounds used to be a motley of poorly designed hiving, now relocated to the north side, and before that, any manner of pre-civilization site. A ceremonial mosh circle, a death sports arena, a burial ground. And after that, another book hive, but it was in need of a serious upgrade. Did you notice anything else? You do know something else, because actually it's got you rather distracted. At a picnic table with a troll or two or three sweeps younger than Aranea is an adult, and a large 9-foot-tall pearl necklace wearing adult. Oh. She's a high blood wearing an indigo peplum and blindingly white slacks, and she has her hand on the curled fist of a blonde-clad child, moving their fingers to follow words on a page. You notice this pair at exactly the same moment as Aranea asked her question, and I shot through your veins. Aranea, of course, noticed. No, don't worry, she's not hurting them, that is. Nor is she going to. What was the concern? A fully qualified cult taker would never get and maintain their certification without being in complete control and awareness of their own strength. What you're watching is a phonics lesson. It's rare to see outings like this at such a high-level institution, but I admire the risks she's taking. Some say that exposing a cult troll to futures they won't live to realize is only going to make them miserable and remind them of where the grass seems greener, but a few groundbreaking cult takers disagree. Just because your charge won't have the lifespan to participate in the grand scope of academia doesn't mean they shouldn't know what's out there. Aranea leans down to the child's eye level and waves hello. You guess you should too? You wave as meekly as you can manage, halfway hiding behind her, but Aranea is already shuffling you along. The sidewalk takes a sharp turn sideways, and you pad along the street now, heading deeper into Cuddle Bloom's historic downtown as the adult and child shrink out of sight. It's all right to ask questions. It's just that where you come from, you begin. Culling has different connotations. Not that you don't like these ones. These ones seem very nice. Yeah, on Aranea, it means to kill, which is not great. God, it's probably like major whiplash in definition. Technically, Faffery uses it in this sort of context too, in the word's actual real life context, with its real meaning. Still, you have to wonder, why aren't they just learning from their Lucis? At that age, it's likely they were orphaned a little too soon. Are we gonna have to bring up the violent ones? I hate them. They're the only two canon Violet Blood characters we have suck. They suck, and I hate them. I'm rambling. I didn't take much of a mental peek, but you seemed so concerned. Anyway, they did seem to have some kind of turmoil in their past. Oof, you really did just ask why that kid doesn't have parents, didn't you? Oops. The culling system exists to assist Befriendus' most vulnerable populations, pairing at-risk trolls with safe, nurturing homes and fulfilling lives. Oh, so they actually kind of, there are trolls that raise other trolls on Befriendus. That's cool. Cultural education, our first expository deep dive. Never be afraid of questions. Though the system, trolls in need are paired with cult takers, a caregiver trained and certified to provide a tender and protective environment. Cult taker cult pairs are usually situated in the same hive, though there are some exceptions. Cases that are still being evaluated. Transitioning out of culling or in need of less support may only see an occasional visit. Those who have known each other for a long time, sweeps upon sweeps. Your restless thoughts settle tentatively. Okay, you don't like the image of a two-sweep-old taking care of themselves either. Yeah, it's like a 4-year-old. Your heart is still racing out of sheer learned reflex, but you shake yourself out of it. As well as you can. This is a new planet. Drop your preconceptions. Sorry. Unfortunately, for our purposes, the culling system has been thoroughly documented and leaves little to explore. You and I were looking for discovery, but this is exactly the sort of thing I need. Often, the things that blind us to discovery are our own night-to-night habits, our preconceptions. Yeah, they say night-to-night instead of day-to-day because they are nocturnal. Because only certain trolls can, even think of touching the sun without turning into crispy fried bacon. I travel down the street every night. It's stale to me. So ask me about anything here foreign to you. What assumptions have I made that can be overturned? What small faces of our environment make you wonder about their foundation? You look around yourself with an anxious gulp floundering. You don't need to be so hard on yourself. Everything you're saying is valuable. I hadn't thought I would have an encounter with an alien like this for another couple centuries, and even then it's the luck of the draw. So we're told. Even after going off planet, who knows if I would have encountered a meaningful communicative life. Wait a second, hold up, both as in the dialogue and as in, I swear I thought I felt a huge hole in my pants because I have to drag them on the ground because they are too long. But no, I don't think so. I've seen tiny holes in them. Whatever, it doesn't matter. I just thought I felt something like a hole in my pants, like around the bottoms of them. Wait a second, hold up. Befriendus study aliens. We do. We are an intergalactic empire for nothing, after all. I'd planned to keep our focus on planet, not to eschew the field of extraterrestrial studies. It's just that in this competition you get extra points for primary resources. Oh, come on. Just hurt yourself and raise an eyebrow. It is exciting news for someone like yourself, yes. You roll your eyes, remind yourself to be patient, gesture a little bit more furiously. Hello, primary source. Aranea's eyebrows slowly rise further, first in tentative understanding, then in delight. You would be willing to do that? You so very much would. You know Earth like the back of your hand. You're all about Earth. Anthropological study of one right here, baby. Even better, you're used to explaining yourself to aliens. You came to class prepared. Well, in that case, we should get to work. My hive is probably a better setting for an interview, but it's a 10-minute walk. Are your strep pods feeling tired? What? No. You assure Aranea that another 10 minutes on your feet is more than manageable. You leave out the miles upon miles you walked earlier today. Huh. Right this way then. Watch your step. You arrive at Aranea's hive. Who are these pictures of? I don't know these people. Cool looking Recuperakin. Some of these designs are kind of cool. Like, these room designs are really cool. She situates you in what you think must be a respite block, but which has very little emphasis on sleeping. There's a Recuperakin in the corner, sure, but everything else is papers, books, and places to file them. Each portrait on the wall is identified by a brass plaque in its corner, bearing a name and an inspirational quote. Oh, Licentiate Pathfire says, wit is only half of discovery. Oh, these are like smart people, like famous smart people. That's cool. One of the portraits is of a tiny little Aranea. Aww. That's so cute. A tiny little Aranea backed by a very large, very toothy spider. Oh, that's her Lucis. You glance around the hive in apprehension. Is everything alright? You won't need to worry about her. Of course not. Aranea's mom is probably super cool. For some reason, you have this strong feeling, really difficult to shake, bad feeling about Miss Circuit's Lucis. You're surprised at yourself, but you're trying to set aside your alien bias. Well, if her Lucis is anything like Vriska's, maybe those feelings are a little bit valid. No, really, it's just you and me. She was removed a while ago. Oh, shit. Excuse you for assuming. Removed, you asked. Aranea doesn't seem too thrilled with the question, but she does grin and bear it. Oh, I'm sorry for asking an offensive question. A Cankry will have my ass for that. I'm sorry. Cankry, don't come and murder me for accidentally offending someone. Nothing special. It was a neat farewell to a bit of a bad embarrassment. I put up with her whining until I was 4, always hungry this, bloodthirsty that. She isn't particularly powerful. It wasn't that much to shut her out, and she can make do with her Lucis meat. Anyway, she and I were both grateful to send her off to a better purpose. Sensible solutions. A farm upstate, you figure gently. She serves a government position. Her impassioned conservation has established a symbiotic program to reinvent corpse management. Thankfully for those of us with more primitive needs Luci. You wince in embarrassment and hurry the conversation forward. Ow, it hurts sitting on my elbow that long. So hey, you say, how has it been getting away from the embarrassment? She probably does really good on her Empire check-ins, right? Aranea smiles. Oh no, I wasn't called. Can you imagine? I'm 6 weeks old. Oh! Okay, usually, I could have sworn I thought they were like 8 sweeps. No, they're the same age as their dance sisters. Okay, that's weird. Thought they were all like older teens, but okay, like mid-teens, but no. She's like younger than me, dude. I mean, obviously, but like, you know. Doesn't matter. Right. Yeah, I'm just shocked. I would have. Oh no, I did not realize that they would have made them the age of their actual dance sisters is in this game. Oh no. Cause like when I said it in one of my episodes with Mituna, think it was the last one, because yes, I did spread Matunas out over a while, because I actually got both endings, and also had reasons to leave mid-recording and stuff. Like, I thought they were all, like, 8 sweeps. Right, you say. 6, the age of self-sufficiency. Aranea is starting to give you a look, so you clear your throat and move on. Hey, Aranea, what's that in your hand? You really wish you hadn't asked. Aranea lifts up we can only assume is some kind of alien tape recorder, and your brain doesn't want to process what all the moving parts must feel like. You don't like that you've decided it has a nervous system. Oh, ew. Alternative technology scares me. Why is it all, like, alive looking? It's scary. It's gross. It's scary. Aranea, oops, I did not mean to bring that up. Aranea presses down a button in its middle and starts in it. Ew. I'm uncomfortable now. Can we start with a few questions? Tell the recording, for the record, what planet you're from. Hello, you say. I'm an alien from Earth of the solar system. Yeah, the solar system. Not gonna elaborate because we as a species decided to just name our moon the moon and name our solar system the solar system because we're so name our sun the sun because we're because that's not confusing at all. How long have you been here on Befriendus? 2 days, you say, more or less. That there was that quick jaunt to the moon. Oh wait, shit, can we start over? Aranea, strike that from the record. I'll strike anything sensitive, don't worry. And what has your journey been like, spending these nights away from your home? Oh geez, away from your home? That's a lot longer. You hold up a finger to Aranea to ask for patience while you do some quick mental math. 1, 2, 18. And you have to think about the space journey before that, of course. It seems I've jumped ahead in the story. Why don't you, my alien friend, take the lead? Aranea says in a voice she must have learned from documentaries. Start at the beginning. The beginning, huh? Your ship had just lost power. Oh, we're getting a backstory. In some kind of freak electrical glitch, some accident, you lost control of navigation, you lost control of everything. And as your ship plummeted down towards the planet below, you thought you were going to die. You thought you were going to hit the ground full force, but somehow, hang on, this isn't the beginning either. You remember the day you saw the advertisement, crumpling and pocketing the flyer, rolling up to recruit with adventure fluttering in your chest as the over-romanticized prospect of your entry-level space farming job. Okay. You remember the day you received the order, a position you loathed. You didn't recognize it at the time, but it was a beginning that your eventual mutiny, a natural conclusion. You got on a spaceship anyway, and that was the last you've seen of Earth. You remember waving it goodbye, watching the vastness of the ocean shrink into the size of a marble in the distance. It didn't make your planet feel small. It made everything feel absolutely enormous. You watched it twirl away beneath you, dreaming of the minute you would reunite with your loving wife, or no daughter, no your lol. It's just, hang on, you've got to hammer out the lore. John Egbert reference! You don't remember at all, do you? Panic makes itself known distantly, a discomfited flare in your gut. I have no idea, I'm just realizing I have no idea, like, once I get to Cankries, I have no idea what voice I'm gonna do for him. I'm gonna, like, study up on what voice other people do for him, and, like, I don't know, if I can get any help from anyone in the comments, maybe, I don't know. It's gonna sound awful. It's just, I know. I apologize in advance for the fact that you'll have to hear that about, what? Like 2, 3-ish chapters from now? Yeah. We're like, not including this video, 2 more. Because there's the intermission and there's Porum and then there's the intermission. Panic makes itself known distantly, a discomfited flare in your gut. I have no idea why I was just rambling about that. Actually, that doesn't matter, but warning in advance. No, of course you do. It's just a hiccough. You remember the parts that matter. Aranea's voice takes on a honey-like quality, soft, sincere. You've really, really worried this girl, and she really, really wants to help. You don't need to be afraid. Something bigger is hurting you, isn't it? I can feel it rolling around there, clutching at the back of your mind. I can feel it sending its feelers forward, even as you try to shove it back behind lock and key. It's not going to be able to stay there forever. I can tell you that one way or another. It is coming out. It's coming! I'm gonna shut up. I hate myself. Stop. But I could help you bring it forward safely. This exercise will be scary, but it doesn't need to be damaging. I'm very well experienced in matters of the mind. Can I take a look? Yes. I don't care. It's been too many hours since you woke up half drowned. Too long to be this negligent. I don't know why I was pronouncing it like that. I've seen that word before. I know what it means. I'm not illiterate. I can read, guys. I forgot that was a word for it. You've been avoiding this long enough, but it's irresponsible to keep running. You have to face the bad thing eventually. The bad thing trademark. You know? The bad thing. You have to figure out what it is you can't remember. Aranea could really use that for the project anyway. She doesn't need any of the space travel, the Alternian lore, the friendships, but she does need someone whose memory can be trusted. Alternian lore! Yay! God. You have to be a reliable primary source, and the last thing you want is seeing someone find out you're not. You can't leave holes in her research for your fear. But is she sure she doesn't want to put a hold on this for now? Come back to you tomorrow? She has a project to finish and sleep to catch before her presentation, and maybe she could just pick something easier? There's not much moonlight left. Don't worry. Consider everything completely under control. In fact, with a little luck, I think we'll have exactly enough time. Fortunate occurrences, strokes of fate, for real though. You take a slow breath, let it out sharp and nod, alright. Alright. I feel like she looks like the one... She looks like the one girl from the Peanuts, but like, I think that's, but like, I can't tell if that's intentional by the people who designed, like, her in this game, Andrew himself, because also I know there's literally a segment where they intentionally make her look like that, like literally trace over that, like, one specific frame of that comic, and whatnot, or like, I don't know, but it's like, I feel like that's, honestly, I think that might be Andrew. I think that might have been Andrew Hussey's fault for making it. I think that was completely intentional as part of her character, but yeah, whatever. You take a slow breath, let it out, sharp, yeah, I already read this, I'm zoning out. How are we going to do this? Ideally, you relax your mind. It is a prodigious gift, but it helps if you're not afraid of it. There's nothing to be afraid of. I took my meds today and I wasted it. Like, I wasted all the time I had to freaking focus on anything. I picked up my room, like, a little bit, but, like, I told myself this weekend I was gonna try starting to write a resume, and I did not do that. So, I really gotta get that done because I want a job this summer because I want to actually have money, you know? I want to not be broke for once. Ow. Because, like, I really want to take my girlfriend out to get ice cream and, like, you know, have other fun stuff. And also, I just know there's going to be a freaking paid skin pack for the Dandy's World Halloween event, and I have no other way of getting Robux, before that, like, by that time, because it's before Christmas and long after my birthday, so, yeah. Oh, my mouse is now a white square. Oh, never mind, it's back. Okay, computer. I'll only use it exactly how you asked, and you'll know every step of what's happening every step of the way. Thank you for not being like risk on using it to, I don't know, force some guy who's never done anything to you to kill his own girlfriend. Because his girlfriend rightfully so made you consider how awful your actions of the past were. Oh, also bully Tavros, who's never done anything to anyone ever in his life because he's a sweet baby and he like he's a sweet guy and he's never done anything wrong. Because he's genuinely just a nice person, you know? Or use it to make your own like best friend free, like. Or girlfriend, I don't know. It's freaking, I don't know. I like shipping them, but like that's anyone's opinion, honestly. Really, based on how you interpret them. But like, make your own freaking best friend go blind for also validly trying to, you know, make you see the repercussions of your own actions. You can tell I hate Vriska. I'm extending a small amount of control, the equivalent of a mental feeler, just to guide you along that process. Do your best to unwind, and then we reach back towards the deep reaches of memory. Yeah, that is relaxing. This is fine. You're not even scary now anymore. Thanks, miss. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the? What could have possibly happened? Wake up, moron. Never mind. Hang on a second. You feel a sort of urgency of you slip out of consciousness. You come to in fits and starts like recovering from a fainting spell and more like waking up. Less like recovering from a fainting spell and more like waking up for a long night of very weird, vivid dreams. You didn't have any dreams, just that feeling of trying to cling on to them when you wake up. Like you know they're not quite finished, or of spending your first minutes of consciousness expecting to be somewhere else before remembering you're lying alone in your bed, on your bed. Ow. Those fever-like dream dizzy mornings when it takes 3 hits of the snooze button before you realize you were never awake. Regardless of wherever you were expecting to be, you are still in Aranea's hive. She's moved you to the couch. But it's more of a couch-shaped nylon sack full of slime, but it's not bad, kind of like a waterbed. Cool. That's kind of neat, I don't know. You test sitting up. So far, so good. Your head feels hollow. Aranea's palm husk buzzes on the coffee table. You look around for her, but she seems to be out of the room. Maybe you can just bring it to her? Oh, fuck darn it. You're not bringing it to her. You're reading her messages like a snoop. We knew it would come to this, didn't we? Aranea Gambit AG began trolling Clement condescension. That's cool. Aranea. Guess she #jacks that Empress title pretty quick. Gloves. I've been reading this so long, there's moon dust caking up my gills from sitting here. I'm reading this in the complete wrong voice. I'm so sorry. I already flushed them out once tonight. So I'm on the news. Did they pick a good photo? If yes, then why exactly should I give them? Should I give a fly fishing fuck? Disclaimer: only accepting reasons 20 words or less. You look fine. You're wearing a dress. I wasn't going to say anything, but you look fine. It's the photo they put out right after your haircut. You mean with your updated official portrait? Yes. Oh, shell yes. And that's barely a dress anyways. Damn, Snorket, you had me thinking we had a PR emergency on our fronts, blowing up my fin box like that. Crisis averted. Phew, I've never looked better. Yes, I know. I should send you a framed goby. Go. I don't know what that word's supposed to be. You know, like, copy. Oh, she tried making a pun. Aranea, no. I have one. They've edited your crude gestures before you ask. They've edited your crude gestures before you ask. But its presence on every news bulletin across the planet does still make you kind of notorious. Yeah. You need anything, or how are you settling in? It's P-Chill. Quiet, rushed footsteps alert you to Aranea's entry into the room. Oh no. I'm sorry. You rapidly scroll back to the most recent messages, passing increasingly blue text dotted with increasingly sparse fuchsia directions, and place the palm husk back on the table. So, should I send someone for the pic, or I can have it ready by tonight. If you're lucky and don't say you heard it from me. But I hear someone might have sourced a solid gold frame in your honor. Wink. Shell, yes, you're the best, Aranea. Aranea. Oh, like Aranea. I don't know. Arad is Gambit. It's okay. Do you think strange happened while you were with our new acquaintance? Yeah, we went to the moon. Other than that. Hello? I'm serious. You good? With clear self-control, Aranea takes the palm husk and, without looking at the messages she's been waiting quite a few minutes for, pockets it. You're awake! She must have known that the moment you woke up to. She must have known that the moment you woke up to. So, why the wait? Was she deliberately keeping you from embarrassing yourself? I've never seen anything like that before. Not to worry though. How do you feel? Is everything there? Is everything there that was there before? 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 I don't know. Ignore my bad voice acting. You really don't feel like investigating that question at the moment. You say yes. Can you stand up? Aranea walks you through a series of exercises, all embarrassing and increasingly convoluted, to make sure your motor function is still in line. You aren't in. You're not any more or less clumsy than you used to be. Finally, though, she seems satisfied enough to let you hold still. You clear your throat. I can make a few educated guesses. Do you know what third-person omniscient is? Ordinarily, that's a clumsy but reassuring metaphor for how I walk through life, and those like me, but my case is slightly unusual. I am, after all, the best of the best. There's less heart in her words than there could be, but you smile weakly. Those are what people who study telepathic and empathetic dynamics refer to as passive abilities. Around you, that ability is almost 2 times stronger, but those passive abilities seem to be where my ability to interact with your psyche ends. Her chapter is really, really long, I feel like. It's because she keeps yapping. I'm sorry, I love you, but please. Oh god, if hers is this long, I don't want to see Kangri's. Kangri doesn't ever shut up. I feel so bad for that one part where, like, Cart gets forced to be around Kangri and he just looks so uncomfortable and upset. And it's like, he doesn't even look like Cart anymore because he looks worried or, like, that's just so out of character. But, like, I mean, he has been worried before. It's just, like, he looks so, like, less angry, worried, and or uncomfortable, and more like, you know, normal worried and uncomfortable. Like generic worried and uncomfortable. I don't know. I'm rambling again. I need to stop doing that. Around you, that, yeah. With your strong emotional stench, yes. How does your species usually access the subconscious? You think for a minute, then glance around Aranea's hive for a cartoon pocket watch. No dice. I have an idea. I can't control your thoughts. We ran into trouble before, but before I was able to so much as hold their hand. I can, however, act as a guide. Do you feel that discomfort at the back of your mind, like an itch? Are you allowed to say no? I'm willing to guess it's what we need to venture into. Aranea settles onto the couch beside you. She can't take your thoughts hand, you guess, but she does physically take yours. You do have access to more than you think. Actually, a lot of the problem is in their feels. Have you ever had a lucid dream? I think you may be able to take the reins in a similar way. I'm very familiar with the mind. Even if I can't take the helm, I can illuminate which paths to follow. You'll just need to do the doing. Look at me. Good. Now close your eyes. Now follow that discomfort. As you do, something spreads around your brain like a blanket. There's nothing touching your thoughts, not directly. Once you start to feel a bit woozy and the sensation pulls back, you feel colder, but you follow her instructions. The discomfort does have a clear locus. a hard pain in your brain. You mentally tiptoe towards it. Aranea, my mattress is currently falling off my bed, but I don't want to get up and fix it. Like it's hanging over the edge. It's fine. Aranea gives your hand a squeeze and says, "Go on. You're receiving false danger signals, but nothing bad is going to happen to you. I wouldn't allow it. You don't want to come at the unnerving thing, trademark lol, like a battering ram, to charge in and bust down the door. You know it's your own memories, but you can't face it like that." Visualization. What happened to MSPA radio? Jeez. Visualization is only getting you so far, but you can tell yourself that you're going to take the thing and creep around it. Wind your thoughts very gently along its edge, like, "Hey there, just passing by," slip in through the side entrance. Ow, ow, ow. That goddamn pimple on my neck, I want it gone. I hate it. You trip off the mental equivalent of an unforeseen staircase. Oh. I could have kept pushing, so I really don't hope you mind me jumping in. Felt was fitting to take a quick break. This isn't working, is it? Break, not working, yes. Features of the hive seem to swim wherever you look. Your eyes can't settle in one place. I thought so. I don't know which ending we're even getting right now. I'm going to assume this is the long good end, because the long bad ends are usually a tiny bit shorter than, like, the long good ends. Because nobody wants to play through all that and then realize they got the bad ending and then have to go through all of that again to get the good one. It's like, that's just real bad game design. So I doubt that's the case. Aranea is casting these sideways glances at you, but the anxiety is not leaving. She can't seem to sit still through the break. Her feet keep fidgeting, shoes scuffing at the floor. When I finish this game, I know they're still updating it, so that, I don't know, maybe eventually I will also play Distant Quest, because I've seen footage of Distant Quest, and it is so cool. The character designs are great. Oh. Also, being homeboys with, this Ionic gotta be fun as hell. I don't know, it just seems fun. I don't know. I'm glad I haven't actually watched anyone's playthrough of, these chapters, because it doesn't really spoil anything for me. Because I usually don't play games for myself, I will watch playthroughs and spoil stuff for me. But when I find out that I can absolutely play this game for myself, it's like, now I kind of regret spoiling things a little bit, but also it's just it's still fun. I still had fun. Arena's casting this one, yeah, huh? I think I have something easier. Can I try something one more time? Something easier. Binary choices once more, but seriously. Okay, I'm trying it. This time, the comfort that winds itself around your brain is undeniable. It doesn't push. It doesn't, to your massive relief, change anything. It's not even in your brain at all. It's more like it makes you wonder if this is what Aranea can feel. You're close. Consider it a psychic two-way street. Still passive, mind you, but now you can follow along. You can actually... You can feel how expertly Aranea weaves through her own brain and realize that once that it's almost like having a map. So you follow it, whatever Aranea does in her mind, sometimes demonstrating the steps many times over so that you can follow, you repeat, you repeat, you repeat, you repeat. Why is our text changing to white? I'm scared. I'm scared now. Repeat. You repeat. Why is everything going dark? Why is the music sound distorted? What's going on out there? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Oh my god, frames from the actual webcomic. Oh my god. Homestuck frames. Frames from actual Homestuck. Oh my god. That's cool. Your attention is on the mental map anymore, but it's there. It feels like the switch between learning to ride a bike and simply having the muscle memory to turn left without thinking. This isn't the memory you were looking for when you started, but this is much more recent, something you didn't want at all. Oh god, does it have anything to do with Doc Scratch? I hate that guy. This is the moments before saltwater log closed, before the word Befriendus. You heard it, it's not pronounced the way you expected. This is an anger in your gut. You were going to find, no, to tell, to reach, to dig, to mend, to break. The clock is... What just happened? I'm scared. She says nothing. No. You can tell your response didn't land on your ear as well, but you can't process past no. You need a minute. Oh no, we made her sad. No. You take several minutes, as many as you need to stop your heart from exiting your chest. It's still sputtering against your sternum at a rate more healthy for a baby bird than a grown or teenager-ish human. Aranea gives you time, rocking anxiously on her heels. She's made herself busy typing on her palm husk. Here and there, tapping her palm husk. Here and there, looking out at you to check on you, and then waiting long enough that it doesn't look like she's totally talking about you. You let out a slow sigh to signal that you might be ready to speak. Aranea looks up. And looking around her hive, you're not sure you can save this. She has a conference tomorrow. You begin gently. Aranea hears your rejection, and it's clear on her features. You're right. She reaches for the stack of papers she brought home for the book hive, taps them against the floor, neating them, and pulls her idea list to the front. Everything on it is crossed out. And what would really help you reset is a way to forge forward, right? Dedication, resiliency, distraction if nothing else. There are a lot of subtle topics here. No reason to discard good work here on the fraught and complicated history of trade amongst our very first colonies. To research rich to believe they needed us. It's nothing about her, you say gently, because she's a wonderful girl. It's not the mind powers, it's not her use of them. You know, this isn't how they usually go. Don't go thinking about, it's about how she just was tangentially involved in one of the top 10 most horrifying experiences of your life. Top 10? You have a top 10. Jeez, what happened to you, man? Oh, probably becoming a Homestuck fan. Because just becoming a Homestuck fan, especially if it was if you did back in the 2010s, just turns you evil automatically. You experience some insane stuff. This fandom used to be like mentally ill in the best way possible. I wish I could have experienced it. I wish I could have experienced that, really. Not because it wouldn't have been, like, genuine. Not because it wouldn't have been, I don't know. Never mind. You just can't stay here. Something terribly young and terribly sharp sets up camp in the shines of Aranea's eyes. She says, of course, she makes sure you have a little water to drink and a snack bar for later, and she assures you she'll still get the project done with flying colors. But even as she walks you, are you sure you'll find a place to stay? To the door. Something tells you she's heard the story before. Aww. Oh, dang it, that was the bad ending. That took forever. That was like a long, long bad ending. Could not hang. Wait, no. Load our last. Oops, I did not save at the right. I did not save before that. Wait, no. Load. Wait, there's more than one page of that. AQ. Saves 1, 2. No, I didn't save at the right point. I'm gonna delete that one save because there's no point in that. Alright, just like this one, and then we skip. What? Dude, I just have to get right back to the thing. What is your problem? Why do I get a bad end for skipping? I mean, that's cool, but like... Dude, I actually have to get back to the point I was at. I forgot to save. Oh no. Oh my god. Aranea, please. I love hearing you speak. I love talking to you. But I actually need to skip. I have to manually click through this because it gives me a bad ending for freaking skipping. There's probably a setting to turn that off, maybe, but like, oh well. Save. Overwrite this one. Yeah, because there's no reason for me to have saved there other than doing it for fun. No, that's how we get the... It really is okay. You tell Aranea. You know what might help calm me down, though, really, sincerely? A break. No, a story. You're just kind of stressed, and clearing your head seems like a really good idea. What was that story Aranea was getting at earlier, the Armageddon? Aranea is suspicious of the obvious deflection. She's a mind reader. You're not a very good liar. But she allows it. It's your choice-based narrative, you guess. The Armageddon before us was in the advent of its interplanetary expansion, and it was run ravenous. Her impassioned conservation, I keep saying conversation, that doesn't make sense. Her impassioned conservation would inherit an expansionist military force in its grubhood, grind it forcibly to stagnation, and be presented with a choice. Would that stagnation be an endless winter, waiting for the ground to thaw and release the same undeveloped mass, or would it be a pupation? The forces that would become known as the Royal Befriendus Off-World Fleet underwent a period of massive reform and subsequent upheaval, and some say even insurrection. There's no evidence to support that, of course. What there is evidence to support is succession. The SS Armageddon, built in the 19th century, 8 HIC, BHIC? Okay. I think they separate their time periods, like how we do, like, Common Era before Common Era. They separate them based on who is in charge at the time. Okay. Was a quad psionic armed dreadnought tasked with the colonization of a more lethal area. Its crew were accustomed to a degree of brutality. We shudder at it now, but contemporary accounts agree post-conservation Befriendus weren't the only ones shuddering. Historical context is key. One could fill the entire book hive with conflicting attempts to rack up its body count and to debate its more grotesque stories. Trophies taken, aliens grabbed into ship walls just to see if they could. So when the ship dropped off the map, you have to understand it was something of a folk legend. Today we mourn the loss in passing, a subject for Wigler's first historical novels and romances doomed by their violent time, but a more rigid analysis of logs written before the vessel's disappearance reveals an atmosphere of dissent and distrust. What incomplete records we still have note the precise second mechanical failure sent autopilot. What incomplete records we still have note the precise second mechanical failure sent autopilot offline before the tragedy, but a journal log from not 10 minutes after the autopilot system's failure unveils a different story. The log is a humble, overlooked account from one of the ship's youngest engineers, but it's also the only primary source written while the ship's systems were failing. Picture this. You are in the midst of a catastrophic failure. The sharp pink blare of alarms on the walls betray the simplest notion of doom. Every mechanical reading offering an even worse story still. A captain or his bridge crew might be able to preserve denial. A humble engineer like our primary narrator, the journal of the Armageddon's last written log, wouldn't be so lucky. And yet, even with those mechanical readings, that this quiet engineer would mean banishment to outer space. Unaided, their writings show no sign of anxiety. Even I don't write 10 pages when I'm in a rush. Most notable of all, assumptions made about the time of the disappearance relative to the Befriendus mainland are unfounded. No references are made to the conserve herself, but we're aware one last FTL leap was made before the tragedy. Incoming communications to the ship after that last leap have been lost or destroyed. Though there's a historical consensus placing their exit from that leap on a pre-conservation timeline, I argue it's unfounded. Wow, so what's her theory? That they would rather fuck off and live out their days in space than in space? Ugh. then bow to the new Empress. I think they're still out there. You had forgotten the absolutely massive lifespan of higher blood trolls. Alright. Yeah. Her impassioned conservation has to pick and choose her battles, of course. And while we're all enamored with good thriller, the point of the report was theatrics and intrigue. The point might not have been theatrics or intrigue, but you're struck wordless by both of them. And then Aranea goes apologetic, as if finally coming back to her senses. You nip that in the bud as hastily as you can, with profuse and slightly excessive thanks. This info dump, even if it was born of your transparent deflection, turned out to be an illuminating experience for you. That's the kind of thing you want to be, a single engineer unveiling the fate of their crew, an unassuming entry point into Earth itself. And she's so practiced at that. This is the kind of product Aranea just churns out with these tiny research threads with the records of a single person. That's the skill you want her. That's the skill that her report should get to showcase. You want to help her shine. This requires a little more research, you decide. And besides, you really want to see that gleam in Aranea's eyes again. So you ask her, playing up the curiosity in your voice, the question totally earnest. Gee, how'd you learn all that stuff about Historia great cheating? What is the purpose of a storyteller? You say like it's your own question, not one pulled from her own mouth. Well, if the story is the same with or without us. Aranea lights up. To preserve it. I did not read that bottom text. I'm so sorry. Y'all can pause and read that if you want. I keep forgetting. I don't notice sometimes when there's the bottom added text. All kinds of people every night are out there doing things that matter. You and I are doing something that matters right now. But it's the chroniclers amongst us, those willing to document the moment and investigate the past that lend it weight. Historia's heart is... I don't want to try pronouncing it. I'm sorry, I don't know what that word is. And it is very confusing. Heart is one that looks out at the world and sees legacies that deserve to last. The most important part isn't the story to be told, of course. The most important part is that thousands of someone's, got us where we are today. The architects of the past are usually regarded as less important than the architecture. But we'll always need someone to tell it. And I'm content with that being my legacy, not as the hero on the page, but as the humble researcher, like the foundation of the hive, unseen, passing that story forward. There's something on my screen, I want to get it off. There. Digging up the actual knowledge of, or the actual unknown or previously deemed unworthy protagonist, and dusting them off. The rest of the universe may have forgotten our mechanical engineer, but we haven't. And thanks to our work behind the scenes, credit is given where it is due. We keep these things alive. You take a pause, you let the importance of it fill your can-shaped chest. I'm ready, you tell Aranea. She proffers the tape recorder once more, and this time, even its rewinding squelch can't take a conviction. Aranea clicks what you presume to be a record to be record. She has your state for the record, your planet of origin. She has you state for the record your planet of origin one more time. She even describes you briefly, your physical appearance. Start with whatever you would like. You begin, clearing your throat. It's difficult to qualify or quantify life on Earth. Every day seems to wallop you over the head slightly more than the last, and every friendship reminds you of how much you have to learn slightly more than the last. And in that I could have said something wrong because I didn't go back and read over what I was looking at again, but like, who cares? Apologies if I read things wrong. And in that, it's not very different from Befriendus at all. It's not very different from any planet you visited. Aranea is a sidetrack existential crisis for another day. You've chosen your battles. Yeah, Aranea is actual hell to live on, actually. Yeah, awful place. But as you reflect on your time under your home planet's blue skies, certain themes bring themselves forward, universal, unshakable themes. The ones that make you in this story. And the first one you declare is the Postal Service, the lifeblood of democracy. The Aranea stops to question you here, and you define democracy. The pinnacle of human achievement. Rain or shine, through hail or thunderstorms alike, from Sacramento to Cincinnati, the Postal Service can be relied upon to unite humankind. Discussions of the Postal Service bring... Why do we have a weird obsession with the Postal Service? What? Bring you naturally into transportation, hot rods and mom vans, and how much dust they're able to kick up in the commercials. Your city, town, village areas, level or lack of public transportation next. Yeah, my town does have a actual, like, my town has a weird bus/taxi service, like, or like Uber/bus service. It's a bus, but like you can freaking like book. I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to explain. But like, yeah, but my town does not have a lack of transportation, but like, you know. This level or lack of public transportation next. The latter of which is apparently a baffling problem to a Befriendus. You talk about used car salesmen, the corgi craze, how 3D movies are better now and they aren't made to sell the idea that they would make a really good roller coaster. Fast fashion. Fashion, that's good. You can riff on that. Is this a multimedia presentation? Aranea tilts her head at you. There's no rule against it. You ask for materials to make props. The tape recorders sit neatly on the desk as the two you get to work. Fabric and cardboard spread out in front of you. Aranea makes lists and notes and graphs. You construct plush yellow scrunchies and cardboard Tims and those socks with little marijuanas on them. Oh, that reminds me, for my freaking recycled art project, I have to make stuff. Like, I have to make a freaking outfit out of recycled material. I don't want to do that, because A, I have to get the materials, and B, I know nothing about doing that kind of stuff. I know nothing about making that stuff, and oh my god, I don't want to do it. I know it's for my final project. I know I'm going to get a crappy grid if I don't do it. I know it's supposed to be fun, but, like, if I can't work in a group with someone else, if I can't, like, if I have to do that whole thing on my own and make all that crap, I don't want to do it. I really don't. God. It's so overcomplicated. The only three reasons I haven't dropped out yet are A, for this year, it's already the end of the school year. B, my parents won't let me. And C, I want to actually go to, like, university, just, not because I even need to, but just because I want to, like, rub it in the face of the people who have bullied me, that I'm smarter than them. You know, God, I don't want to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to. I have to figure out how to cut a can in half. I have to figure out how to get, like, plastic that I don't even know if I have. I'm rambling, but, like, seriously, I don't want to do this. I'd rather die than do that. Hydro flasks, weren't there hydro flasks? Is that a human word and not a troll one? You'd be goggling what month hydro flasks started to be a thing and what month you left Earth for this befriending adventure, if any of those words meant anything from here. The hurricane grows, the fruits of your labor spread around you, and slowly everything starts to feel... What's wrong? You know her eyes are on you, but you can't look back yet. Your eyes are cast out over a sea of props in front of you, your skin crawling under the recycled, poorly stitched yoga pants you've cut out of an old dress. This isn't Earth, is it? This isn't even the Spark Notes primer. But you don't understand what happened to every single artifact opening up a world. What happened to every person being the final missing puzzle piece. Darn it all, you only want to be a believable every them for one night. Every them. I love how they keep us gender neutral. It's sweet. Like a lot of... I feel like that's a thing more in Friend Sims, that they like keep you more gender neutral as far as I've seen, and the only Friend Sims I freaking have seen are the Homestuck ones, but you know, like, with like dating sims, they tend to like always make the character at least somewhat female coded, and it's like, or like always like, I don't know, it's nice that we get to, you know, just be a normal, like, generic person meant to actually represent everyone, you know? It's like... Rhythm for one more night. You couldn't even give Aranea that. There's no need to lose hope over that. It must sound so... I don't know what that word's supposed to be to you, but it's this kind of esoteric that brings society into living color for those of us consigned to absorb it second or third hand. You're doing a good job. We're going for something authentic. No, that's just it. There aren't any authentic artifacts of you, are there? Maybe 2 of them or a handful, but for the most part, the scattered wreckage of all your project around you doesn't look like you at all. It looks like a disaster, a middle-aged non-parent trying to shop for a teenager. Like a disconnected writer trying to distill the most reliable, relatable reader experience into increasingly bite-sized portions. But the minute you try to nail it down, the further away from you it spirals. Further away from you, it spirals. I don't know, I feel like I didn't put enough emphasis on the word you, considering it was in italic. Ow. Oh, there's a pimple on the back of my head, and a large one at that. Okay, maybe not that large, it's just... Actually, no, that's small, I'm stupid. Ow, can't help pick at that, sorry. Earth is complicated, messy, and broader than this. You try to explain? Hell, come to think of it, you're not even sure your beloved male is universal, let alone democracy. You were just so inspired after reading Aranea's work, the tales she weaves together from little clues. An entire tidy narrative made out of one mechanical engineer or 2 people sitting by a bookhive. What does she know that you don't, right? What's the key she's got? How does she take one person and spin them into a perfect, efficient story? And the worst part is, maybe it wasn't a surprise. Maybe you've been hating this, cringing at it a little, all along, just going through the motions because they're what's happening. Maybe what isn't relatable is this tech scroll right now. You're definitely feeling something, but whatever that something is right now, sitting in Aranea's hive, you're not sure you're ready to voice it. ... The good news is, it's sitting in It is sitting in Aranea's hive. Hoa, you say? She taps her temple, right. You don't need to lose faith in yourself. Actually, I was very close to filling out something of a full ethnography. No, you say careful but firmly. No, you'll need to find something else. Maybe it can't be as narratively complex as she was hoping for. Sigh. Looks like this is a special case. You deliver a gentle but knowing look. It looks like we might have uncovered something about how stories work, even if it's just yours. But we do still have a project. You do? I don't know. I just knocked something over? Will I try to lift this back up with just my feet alone like an idiot? Yeah. I don't know, does interrogating eyewitness alien narratives as an entry point for long-term study, a framework for investigation, sound like a project to you? Wow, it's got a lot of words in it. Not to praise us too highly, but we did spend the night wrangling with one of the oldest still unsolved dilemmas in the field of interplanetary relations. With labors of love, it's easy to get entangled in the product. I keep saying the wrong things. And in that entanglement, forget what we love to begin with, the process. We aren't people who finish things, are we? We're not the doers. Well, hang on, Aranea. This self-concept might be unreasonable. Sure, she's not the architect of history, she's the teller. But didn't you make something worth telling right now? If you're not mistaken, this is the new shape of the project. A retelling of this bit in her life, this search. That's got to mean that's got to mean hers is as worthy of telling. Which doesn't make her any less of a perfect historian. Yeah, I still don't know that word, and I don't feel like pronouncing it. It might make her a better one, you suggest gently. After all, there's no use in burning out here behind the scenes. A little self-honesty never hurt anyone. I feel like I was doing Aranea's voice for MSPA. I'm sorry, I'm trying to stay as neutral as possible with MSPA. Also, and both of them, I'm trying to stay neutral, but like I'm also trying to make them sound like different people, you know? Let's not dwell on the details, but I'm flattered. Now, as one anecdotal source, how would you try to define my interview tactics, just to the best of your ability? Aww. The little craft supplies all over the floor. It's so cute. Lol. Okay, so that's it for this episode. Next video I'll be doing Porum. Can't read, isn't even. I keep laughing about that. It's stupid, but like I can't stop. Okay, bye. I'm gonna freaking